Schefter, so the virtual draft, the issues yesterday, what was the significance? What's the primary takeaway?
Well, what we take away, Greeny, is that there was a glitch with the first overall pick in the Cincinnati Bengals that lasted about 2.5 minutes. And you could just hear all the teams saying, here we go with the technical glitches. But the fact of the matter is, this is the reality that we're all living in. This is how teams have to conduct their business. And the rest of the draft was done without much of any issues at all. And to me, this really reminds me of year 2K. So much hype, so much buildup, so much nerves about computers crashing. And then ultimately it comes off. Yes, this is going to come off. There's not going to be issues. There might be a couple of little things here or there, but the NFL is prepared to stand down and stop the clock if it has to. It's not like it's going to put the draft on auto draft in a fancy football draft and teams are going to have players selected for them. It's not going to work like that. They'll figure it out. They'll work their way around it, and they will get through this.
That would be hilarious if they went to auto draft. We just put Mel's list up there, and if the Vikings don't get their pick in time, they just get the player he wanted for them. The one thing we did hear Elway say there, and Schefter, you were the first one to say this to me about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Could we see fewer trades as a result of the communication not being quite as simple?
I think that you may see more challenges to get the trades done, but I think teams are aware of this, and you've heard general managers like Bob Quinn in Detroit and Dave Gettleman in New York already say that they want to have trades in place if they're going to make them by Wednesday night or Thursday afternoon. So that's usually the case anyway, Greeny, but maybe it's going to be heightened this year. There's going to be more discussions on Wednesday night and Thursday afternoon in an effort to put some of those deals and the parameters of any potential deals in place so that there aren't people scrambling. If they're scrambling while they're on the clock, then they're going to have a hard time making that happen. It becomes more challenging. It does not make it impossible. Trades can still be made. It's just different circumstances this year as there are with everything with this draft.
All right, so you mentioned the third pick, which is the Lions, and the fourth pick, which is the Giants. Both those general managers have been open about wanting to move back. Who is it people are going up to get? What is your sense of the likelihood that there are trade partners for the third or the fourth spots?
Usually when teams come up in the first round, near the top of the first round, it's usually for a quarterback. And this is why right now there seems to be a logjam and a lack of activity at the top of the draft in regards to trading up, because the Dolphins are sitting there at 5 and people think that they're going through their quarterback process and don't feel the need to move up. The Chargers are going through their process at number 6 and don't feel the need to move up. So if the Dolphins at 5 and the Chargers at 6 aren't moving up, who is? And that's the issue right now that I think the teams at 3 and 4 are running into. Now, that doesn't preclude a team later on like Jacksonville at 9 or the Raiders at 12 or the Patriots at 23 from making a jump, and maybe they want to get closer to the actual draft before they begin making active calls to limit the time, limit word getting out. But we haven't seen any evidence of that so far. So we'll wait and see here. We're 48, 72 hours away, and it should be very interesting. It usually picks up as the draft gets closer. That might be the case, but it's still going to be challenging, I think, for the Lions and the Giants to trade out, as willing as they are to do it right now.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.